What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
It's finally here. The Netflix trilogy's bland finale made us all emotional. Well, maybe more than we expected. Without any further ado, here are the things only adults notice in the final chapter of Noah and Elle's story. The risky video. The story of the kissing booth got its end. Unfortunately, the third part spins the whole story and leaves you with a quite bland finale. The narrative of the third and final film picks up after high school graduation as Elle, portrayed by the amazingly talented Joey King, and her bestie, Lee, portrayed by Joel Courtney, are getting ready for college, and there's, of course, Lee's brother and Elle's boyfriend, the handsome Noah, portrayed by Jacob Elordi. Just at the very beginning of the film, Elle explains how she, Noah, Lee, and Rachel decided to spend some quality time together and visit several exciting places. The scenes that follow are just brief moments, and everything Elle explains is a bit quick. She, however, mentions they went on a trip to Northern California where they camped together in the woods. They went fishing in the lake, and well, interestingly enough, Elle mentions that she and Noah did a naughty video from a chemistry lab.
Watched our naughty video from chemistry lab. Destroyed our naughty video from chemistry lab.
This means, well, you perfectly know what it means. Wardrobe. Men versus women. In The Kissing Booth 3, Elle has a major decision to make. She needs to decide if she will go to Harvard and be with the love of her life, Noah Flynn, or fulfill her promise and go to Berkeley with his brother, her best friend, Lee. Spending their last summer before school at the Flynn family beach house, Lee and Elle come to find their childhood bucket list, a list with all these activities they need to complete before college. Elle decides to go and live in the beach house since Noah and Lee's parents are going to sell it, and there's a scene that most adults noticed. It's the one where Elle moves in and puts her clothes in the closet. You can perfectly see the difference between men and women here. Noah has like 3 shirts, and then Elle puts on a whole lot of outfits and takes the whole wardrobe. Nevertheless, the film continues the story as Elle and Lee decide to complete the bucket list, while Elle works as a waitress at a local beach restaurant and has plenty of other things going on in her life. Pretty bad hangover. As we previously said, the film starts with a group road trip, and then Lee, Rachel, Elle, and Noah come back home to live their last summer before college. Elle works as a waitress in a beach restaurant. Her dad is dating Linda, for which Elle is not really fascinated, and Noah and Lee learn that their parents intend to sell the beach house in which Elle, Noah, and Lee all grew up. The group then asks if they can live there for the summer, and because someone needs to take care of the house, the parents agree. Before Elle's real struggle begins, Noah invites a lot of people and an unforgettable beach party follows. The next morning, Elle wakes up Lee offering him a sports drink and an aspirin. Obviously, Lee doesn't feel very well. CGI? The Kissing Booth franchise has a long history of using CGI. For instance, the second film featured an arcade dance scene, and when some behind-the-scenes videos emerged, it was proved that the scene was actually filmed on green screen. It's clear that the CGI helped to create more dreamlike effects. It seems Kissing Booth 3 also used special effects in order to present a better film. Here's the scene that most people claim was filmed with the help of special effects. In it, you can see Elle and Lee jumping from a high cliff. What do you guys think? Were special effects used for this scene? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments down below. Double standard. Now, we've come to the part where Marco and Chloe show up. Marco casually appears at the restaurant where Elle works, and he tells her he's about to spend the summer there. Shortly after this, Chloe calls Noah and asks him if she could stay with him and Elle. He quickly agrees without asking Elle about it. Most fans were surprised by this since in the previous film, Elle had this jealousy thing going on with Noah because of Chloe. When Chloe asks Noah if Elle would be fine with it, he simply says yeah, again, without talking to her about it. Then he tells Elle, and she clearly is doubtful, but she says she's fine with it. When she tells him that she saw Marco that day, he gets angry, and this is where we see the double standard that he sets in their relationship with Elle. And yes, most adults perfectly know how awful a double standard is in a relationship. Jealousy. A lot of jealousy. Kissing Booth 3 is probably the most complicated one in the entire franchise. The film focuses totally on Elle as she tries to learn that she needs to make her own decisions and not base her decision on what Lee or Noah wants. Throughout the film, she decides to go to Harvard and not to Berkeley with her best friend. Because of this, she feels like she needs to dedicate her whole summer to Lee so he wouldn't feel left out. However, Lee then meets a new friend who will also go to Berkeley, and when he starts spending more time with him, Elle becomes jealous. You just can't help but notice the face she makes when Lee tells her he spent the whole day with his new friend. That's one big ego. So Elle and Lee try to complete their bucket list and they decide to go kart race at the amusement park in which the gang wears Mario Brothers costumes. Elle and Lee tried to convince Noah to go with them and wear a costume, but he, as we all expected, said no. Marco saw this opportunity and went to the kart race so he can be the support Noah needs to be for Elle. Noah finally agrees to race when he sees that Marco will. And it's a fun race, but everything gets messy when Noah gets angry that Marco won. Most fans noticed how big an ego Noah has, and Elle is obviously upset at his behavior. Later in the film, it's made clear that Noah is right. He is sure Marco wants her back. But when Marco punches him, we are all surprised about how Noah handles the situation. He simply leaves the scene and does nothing to hurt Marco. Some solid character development was put into Noah in the last film, right guys? Trying his best. So just like we said, Noah has been through some really great character development in the franchise. The second film clearly left us with an unfortunate conclusion. Noah is not the kind of guy you want a girl such as Elle to end up with. The Kissing Booth 2 featured the couple trying to keep their relationship going while living on different coasts. Elle was finishing her senior year at Los Angeles High School, and Noah was starting his freshman year at Harvard University. The long-distance relationship proved to be an awful experience for Elle and Noah, and he didn't put a lot of effort into their relationship in the previous film, which is clearly not the case with the final one. In The Kissing Booth 3, Noah made a romantic dinner for his love just so she can rest and spend some quality time with him after a long day at work. He then showed up in the restaurant where she works, again proving that he's changed. Sometimes, love is not enough. After what happened with Marco, Noah leaves and Elle finds him sitting at the Hollywood sign. He explains to her that she needs to start seeing herself as a priority. What if it doesn't work out between us, he says.
But this, and then in a year's time, it doesn't work out. And, you've moved.
Don't go to Boston because of me. They break up with Noah, explaining that love isn't always enough. Elle knows that no matter what she does, somebody's hurt. Rachel also breaks up with Lee because she is concerned that the long-distance relationship will do no good for them, and she also says sometimes love is not enough. Most adults pause and think about this and the truth that's put into the statement. After that, Elle focuses on herself and decides to study video game design at USC. The end of the film somehow reunites the group, but there's no confirmed ending if Elle and Noah do end up together. What do you guys think about the end of the Kissing Booth franchise? Let us know. Like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our videos in the future. Thanks for watching.